How to pick a word of the year. Now, this is a really sort of fun thing to do, but it's also something that's, a little bit trendy and some people make fun of it or whatever, but it is something that I love to do. And it can be really, really great if you actually stick to it. So I always put this, I have a big board in my office or in my area where I go, I look at my vision board. I look at my business goals, my personal goals, my self concept and self identity work. I look at all of that and, really big words, who I'm working towards, my values, all of that, my framework, my working framework, it's all there. And also my word of the year and question. So for this year, I had the word expansive or expand, expansion. And so my question is always, what would the most expansive version of Sheena do? That's the question I have underneath my word of the year. Now, the reason I am putting a warning around this is we have all heard that phrase, be careful what you wish for. Okay. We've all heard that. And I want to share a little bit about this because Oprah has spoken about it several times. So Oprah has always been big on vision boards and, choosing key words and asking, the universe or God or whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in for these things. But she has she sort of said you need to pick with caution, and this is what we mean, is that the word of warning is that if you ask for strength, you will be put in situations where you need to be strong to build that strength. If you ask for courage, you will be put in situations where you need to be courageous, and the fear is going to come up because that's what courage is. It's facing the fear and doing it anyway. So this year, have I expanded more than anything in the world? Absolutely, I have. I even without telling my friends or any of them what my word of the year is. And a lot of my friends aren't into personal development as much as I am. So I don't always tell some of them about these sorts of things. Some of them, we're all on the same page. We talk about this stuff, but some of them not. But even the ones that aren't into personal development and this kind of picking a word of the year, they make fun of it probably. They have said to me, Sheena, it's like you've expanded this year. You're so expansive. It's like you've expanded into who you went to be. Those sorts of phrases keep coming up over and over again. And I don't think it's a coincidence at all. You all know, I think that's a synchronicity of I'm living it, I'm breathing it. But what did I have to go through this year? Losing money, losing a house, losing a business, gaining friends, gaining new opportunities, gaining new people, losing old people. My nervous system going through a lot, having to choose health over business, having to choose health over money, having to make those decisions of priorities. Like my nervous system has never been through so much. I have gone through some of the most painful and awful things this year. I've had some of the worst sort of discussions and just straight up arguments this year. But I've also had some of the most enlightening discussions this year and the most powerful things I've gone through. I have met more people in this year than I have ever met in my whole life, right? Like so many people in such a short amount of time I have connected with, so many opportunities. I have quantum leapt this year. It has been incredible. But if we think about expansion, and for those watching on YouTube or anywhere else where this video is if you think about expansion, It's growing the spectrum on both ends. And that's what happened to me this year by choosing the word expansive, expansion, expand. I expanded my capacity of how much money I can receive. I expanded my capacity of how much money I can lose. I expanded my capacity of how much positivity I can let in and expanded my capacity of how much negativity I can deal with. I expanded my capacity of my nervous system, of both holding the energy of thrill and excitement and joy and love, and expanded it on the other end of having to sit and go through the most painful, chaotic feelings ever. I was having panic attacks earlier this year, and I haven't had things like that happen to me in many, many years. So that was very, my body was screaming at me on both ends, but I couldn't be happier. And a lot of people, if I didn't show you the positive sides of what I've gone through this year, and I just listed a lot of the things, and there's so much more. I can't even get into it. Like I lost my dogs this year, two dogs, so many things. And at the time of this recording, it's not yet the end of the year. So I can't even say, I flew all the way around the world to go to a business conference only for the conference to be postponed, the hotel evacuated, and I was in a hurricane zone, getting tornado warnings, getting flood warnings, saying evacuate immediately, all by myself. I'm all by myself overseas. That's kind of scary, right? It's going to expand your capacity when you're jet lagged and you're tired and you've just flown all the way around the world for these things. So it grows you and expands you, right? So this is what I mean is that has it been the best year ever? Yes. And I record visualizations and voice notes in my voice note app. And I was listening to one from over just a year ago, and everything I said in it is true. Everything I said, I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this, and it feels so good. I manifested it through action, through spirituality, through self concept, through belief, through business strategy, through pushing myself to learn, pushing myself to grow, pushing myself to introduce myself to hundreds of people this year, if not thousands of people this year. The amount of networking events I have been to, people who I've led, people I've coached, people I've connected with, people who have messaged me because of the podcast or my content, literally thousands this year, right? So, yeah, it's it's wild, but that's the thing. This is why I'm saying heed my warning. Has it all worked out better than I could have ever imagined? Absolutely. uh have more things happen than I could ever imagine. If again, years ago, could I imagine I am where I am today? And if I could talk to her about some of the things we've achieved, she would be thrilled. But would she be thrilled about the things that she had to go through to achieve those things? The people I've had to let go of, the money I've had to let go of, the things that I thought I wanted but actually didn't, had to let go of. I don't know. I don't know. But that's the beauty about life is that it gives it to you in the most crazy and unexpected ways. And so if you are choosing a word of the year, get ready. If you look at that word every single day, like I do, you ask yourself that question every single day. So if your word is boundaries, I had a friend recently, we did a podcast together, and she said, my word of the year is going to be boundaries. And I'm like, thinking to myself, well, get ready, girl, because you are going to be put in situations where you got to hold the line for some boundaries and somebody's going to cross those boundaries. You're going to be put in a situation to test it, right? If you said to a personal trainer, hey, I want to get stronger, I want to lift more, Are they going to make it easy for you? Are they going to just give you the same of what you're doing over and over? No, you've got to lift heavier and heavier and heavier every single time to make that happen. So pick wisely, my friend, around what you're ready for, and know that will there be challenges with that word? Absolutely. Is it going to give you your best life? Yes. Is it going to grow you as a person? Yes. Is it going to be totally worth it? Yes. Have I expanded to a capacity that I didn't even know I could expand to? Absolutely. Was it terrifying? Absolutely. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Would I do it again? I'm definitely not choosing expansion in the coming year and around, sort of things. So that's the thing. It's kind of, what do you really want to choose right now? Is it ease? Is it calm? Because again, you will be put in situations where I can choose the easy and calm road or the chaotic one. So again, let's say you chose ease or calm or some sort of word like that, tranquil. You plan an easy and calm and tranquil holiday for yourself or for your family, maybe a solo trip or something like that, right? You give yourself an opportunity to experience ease, calm, tranquility. Next thing you know, someone else wants to invite themselves on the trip. Something happens on the trip. Something chaotic happens on the way. Something chaotic happens while you're there. The universe is more than likely going to give you an opportunity to go, can you still choose the feeling of ease, calm, and tranquility, even when people are coming at you, things are coming at you, challenges are coming at you? It's the lesson that you will take on for the rest of your life of how will I always choose ease, calm, and tranquility despite what is going on around me. So, how can it, let's say that looks like you go on a solo holiday you've been planning forever, and then your bag gets lost at the airport. Your bag gets lost on a plane. Is you might be challenged to go, how can I still enjoy an easy, calm, and tranquil holiday despite the fact that I don't have my bags here, I don't have my stuff with me, all those sorts of things, right? Like that is the kinds of challenges that I see come up. And this isn't just around a word of the year, this is around your core values too. Very similar kind of concept of every time something happens, are you going to align back with your core values, or are you going to go back to an old way of being, an old identity, an old self-concept, old wounds, acting from the wounded in the fearful but familiar place? Are you going to keep acting like the old version of you, or are you going to do something that you never do? Surprise people. If you're like a highly anxious, overly planned, highly strung person, and you choose a word like ease, calm, or tranquility for the year, and then you're put in a situation like we just talked about, your bags get lost and all of that sort of stuff. And you're on this holiday with your partner, and your partner's anticipating you to freak out and call the travel insurance and yell at someone on the phone or have a panic attack. Why not surprise them and act completely the opposite? Oh, well, there's nothing I can do right now. Crying, stressing, that's not going to bring my bags here. Why don't we go get a cocktail and buy some new clothes? If that is not what you normally do. Not only is it going to shock the people around you, but you get to choose a new way of being, a new identity, and you get to break free of this box, of this mold that you not only created for yourself, but now the people around you identify as well. And so that's why it is so crazy, because when you act differently and you choose to act with ease, calm, and tranquility, the people around you don't know how to react. So if you're the panicker in the relationship, the person who panics, and then you don't, I can almost guarantee the person with you is going to start to panic, because they're like, hold on a minute. If you're not stressing out, does that mean I need to stress out? Because it feels like one of us should be stressing out about the situation. It can really change the dynamics of things. So, and again, that's where when you change yourself, your relationships change, your environments change, the way that people relate to you changes. These are not small things. Starting with what seemingly sounds like a small thing, a word of the year, can change everything in your life for you. It could change your relationship forever, your workplace forever, your career forever, the way you look at yourself forever, the way you relate to others forever, the way you see yourself and your inner child forever, for the rest of your life. Isn't that so powerful? So, fuck everyone who makes fun of the word of the year or says it's a cliche or whatever. That's not everyone. You're the top 1%. You're different. Right? I know that I'm different because most people forget their word within the first month. Mine is still on my board and I still see it every day, and I still go back to it and question, what would the most expansive version of myself do? You get to do that too. So be different. Be the 1%. Be the one that sticks it out. Be the one that doesn't, that when you get to the end of the year, you haven't forgotten. People go, did you stick with that New Year's resolution? Did you stick with that new plan, that new self concept? And again, it's nobody else's business if you do that or like not, or you create something or not. But you can be that person who's like, yeah, I actually did. I actually changed everything. Actually did everything in my life. And even again, when we set a goal, sometimes the goal might be, I want to, get fit this year. But who you become through that, of you make friends through that, you find a community through that, you whatever it might be, that sometimes is the biggest thing too, of like, I get to meet people who don't have a recorded idea of who I'm supposed to be. You get to break free of the box. Every time you're in a new location, a new place, new people, new ways of being, you're breaking free from the old. And what a powerful gift that is. Really exciting times. Really excited for you. So go forth, pick your word of the year, be mindful of the caution, but know that, yes, maybe challenges will come up and you'll be tested, but it's going to be 100% worth it. You're going to survive. I know I did. And make sure you tap into a community that's going to remind you that you're capable of surviving and that you can do this and that it's all going to work out if you trust yourself and you back yourself. That's what we're here for. So again, if you aren't on my Instagram or my channels, are following me on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you're finding this, if you haven't yet booked a free call with me or a clarity call, and you're like, yes, I need to be part of this community, of Sheena's community, of Savasana Collective, the business community, you can join us and we will be there right by your side, because we have been through this too. Right there with you. All right, beautiful soul. Have a wonderful day, wonderful week, and I will see you in the next episode of Burnout to Brilliance. Good luck choosing that word.